Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 24, verse number 12. Brahmo Vacha Tvaya me pachitistata Kalpita nirvyalitataha Yanme sanjadrihe vatyam Bhavan manadamanayan. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Lord Brahma said, "My dear son Radama, since you have completely accepted my instruction without duplicity, showing them proper respect, you have worshipped me properly. Whatever instruction you took from me, you have carried out, and thereby you have honored me." Purport. Lord Brahma, as the first living entity within the universe, is supposed to be the spiritual master of everyone. And he is also the father, the creator of all beings. Tardama Muni is one of the Prajapatis or creators of the living entities, and he is also a son of Brahma. Brahma praises Tardama because he carried out the order of the spiritual master in toto and without cheating. A conditioned soul in the material world has the disqualification of cheating. He has 4 disqualifications. He is sure to commit mistakes. He is sure to be illusioned. He is prone to cheat others. And his senses are imperfect. But if one carries out the order of the spiritual master by disciplined succession or the parampara system, he overcomes the 4 defects. Therefore, knowledge received from the bona fide spiritual master is not cheating. Any other knowledge which is manufactured by the conditioned soul is cheating only. Brahma knew well that Tardama Muni exactly carried out the instructions received from him, and that he actually honored his spiritual master. To honor the spiritual master means to carry out his instructions words for word. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta.
Lord Brahma, as the first living entity within the universe, is supposed to be the spiritual master of everyone. And he is also the father, creator of all beings. Kardama Muni is one of the Prajapatis or the creators of living entities, and he is also a son of Brahma. Brahma praises Kardama because he carried out the orders of the spiritual master in toto and without cheating. A conditioned soul in the material world has disqualification of cheating. He has 4 disqualifications. He is sure to commit mistakes, he is sure to be illusioned, he is prone to cheat others, and his senses are imperfect. But if one carries out the order of the spiritual master by disciplic succession or parampara system, he overcomes the 4 defects. Therefore, knowledge received from the bona fide spiritual master is not cheating. Any other knowledge which is manufactured by the conditioned soul is cheating only. Brahma knew well that Kardama Muni exactly carried out the instructions received from him, and he actually honored his spiritual master. To honor the spiritual master means to carry out instructions, word for word. So Lord Brahma is very pleased with his son Kardama Muni for having taken his instructions without duplicity and with great respect. By carrying it out, Brahma is saying that you have worshipped me properly. Whatever instructions you took from me, you have carried out, and thereby you have honored me. So, this is the principle of the parampara system, wherein one's life, every moment of one's life, one is a follower. Is a follower means he always needs instructions. So unless one feels that he is constitutionally is a follower, and who is the one who can always think he is a follower? One who always is in the paradigm of being a servant will always naturally follow the master. So the mood of being a servant of the spiritual master who comes in disciplic succession will automatically infuse in one's consciousness the desire to follow the spiritual master. Now, if somebody is desiring to follow someone, then he needs instructions from that person. So to situate oneself under the shelter of the parampara, one has to be blessed with a lifestyle that would amount to following the instructions of the spiritual master. Just like we see in our case, Srila Prabhupada has given instructions to everybody in this Krishna consciousness movement. So anybody who follows whatever Prabhupada said in any ISKCON temple, if they follow, anybody who follows Prabhupada's instruction is actually getting the shelter of Srila Prabhupada. Shelter of Srila Prabhupada in the parampara. If somebody is chanting 16 rounds, does not matter where he is, if he is executing the instruction of chanting 16 rounds every day, then he is getting the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. In other words, generally we think in this material world because everybody wants to be the boss, everybody wants to be the master. If at all somebody follows something, it is with great hesitation he will follow. People are working in their offices. They follow their bosses, not because they like that. They have to follow. Isn't it? Following the spiritual master is different. Following the system given by the spiritual master is different from this kind of following. One voluntarily, lovingly takes the position of a servant, and in the mood of offering loving service, he follows the instructions of the spiritual master. Every one of us are constantly seeking for directions. You get up in the morning, you think, what should I do today? Or after prasadam, you think, what I do today? Or for some people, decision problem comes moment you open your eyes to go for Mangalarti or not. For some people at 10 o'clock that decision problem comes. But we see that anybody who is in this Krishna consciousness movement is so blessed that Prabhupada has given us direction from morning till night, so that we can feel sheltered by the parampara. It is not easy to get an umbrella like that. The instructions of Srila Prabhupada is like the umbrella which will protect you from the rain of Maya. If you don't have umbrella, you don't have, that's all. You get to get wet. If you have an umbrella, you don't get wet. The same way, it is not a small thing that we have got direction what to do from morning till night. And this direction is coming in Guru Parampara. And therefore we are sheltered by the Guru Parampara. It's a great fortune. Everything that we do should be done in the mood of following. Everything that we do from sadhana to service should do in the mood of following the spiritual master, following the system given by the spiritual master. The reason why we need to live our life according to the instruction of spiritual master is because if we want to create our own direction for our life, then we are subjected to those 4 defects that Prabhupada is mentioning here. 4 disqualification: is sure to commit mistakes, sure to be illusioned, prone to cheat others, and his senses are imperfect. So no spiritualist, anybody who is interested in spiritual life, anybody who is interested in elevating himself, elevating his soul, he is always is a follower of a perfect source, which is free from these defects. And in order to follow these instructions that Srila Prabhupada has given, here it is said, those instructions have to be accepted without duplicity. I really want to follow. Showing them proper respect. Showing respect to whom? He says that, my dear son Kardama, since you have completely accepted my instruction without duplicity, and showing them proper respect. Showing proper respect to the instructions. We need to have a feeling towards the instructions that we received from the spiritual master. As I said, the instruction from the spiritual master is a saving grace for the living entity. Because to become free from confusion, what to do, what not to do, is not a situation which is easily available to the living entity. Everybody is confused. And that is where the Guru's shelter comes into picture. Then one is not confused what to do, what not to do. One simply takes the path of taking the instructions of the spiritual master with great respect. Show proper respect to it. Moment the instructions, you feel proper respect to the instructions, then the instructions will speak to us. The instruction will have the life, which will give us the strength to follow the instructions. So chant 16 rounds every day, Prabhupada says. One should have great respect to that instruction. the more respect you have for that instruction, the more perfectly you will follow those instructions. It is not simply some instruction which is, some algorithm that you have to follow mechanically. And the reason why that respect comes is because of the value of the instructions. In this wide world of so much of confusion, from morning to night, what you have to do, we have solved that problem. We don't have that problem at all. We don't have that problem at all. Because from morning to evening, what we should do is told by our spiritual master. And we are executing it. And that protection is there. So the instructions of spiritual master is a great protecting force. Every instruction. Not talking about this kind of some special instruction and no. Our life is full of instruction. Why you do something in this temple, you will see it is based on instruction of Prabhupada. Why you don't do something, it is based on the prohibition by Prabhupada. So it is predominating in the devotee's life, in the disciple's life. And in this way, the disciple always feels sheltered. Nothing will happen to me because I am simply following the instructions of a pure devotee. I am simply following the lifestyle given by a pure devotee of the Lord. Every act of mine will be received by my spiritual master and will be delivered to Krishna. My devotion service is being rendered. So devotees, a disciple has to take pride in being or in trying to be an executor of Guru's instructions. Take pleasure. This is not the word used. Let not use the word pride. Pride is connected to showing off to others. But one can take pleasure within himself. Oh, I have followed. Yes, not for showing others. A sense of success in being a follower of the spiritual master. A successful follower of the spiritual master. Something I am not able to follow, I shall struggle to follow. I want to succeed in following the instruction. I want to succeed in this, I want to succeed in this, I want to succeed in different instruction that Srila Prabhupada has given. And that becomes the basis for devotees' aspiration in life. Constantly we need to have aspiration. We need to look forward for something. We need to have hope. So devotees' hope and aspiration is to become a better follower of the spiritual master. So Lord Brahma is very pleased with Kardama Muni for carrying out the orders of the spiritual master in toto. And the value of these instructions that is coming in parampara is so valuable that it protects our life. The disciple travels every day in the boat of the spiritual master, boat of instructions. And that boat is, led by the spiritual master. One feels completely sheltered. Otherwise, one takes shelter of his own speculation, his own intelligence. See, we have a sense of dependence on something every time. That dependence should be on the transcendental knowledge, the dependence should be on Prabhupada's instructions and not on our speculation. Our life also should not be organized based on our speculation. Our life also should be organized based on Prabhupada's instructions. So every little thing that Prabhupada has given us in Krishna consciousness movement, to do this, do that, don't do this, all these instructions that are given by Prabhupada, is worthy of constant respect from our mind towards that. So that constantly we will strive to follow those instructions from the bottom of our heart. And these instructions are meant for what? These instructions are given by the perfect source. They are instructions of the path to be taken to go back to Godhead. The path to be taken in our journey of life. We have, from birth to death, we have our time, and within that time, what is the path I should take so that I reach the destination at the time of death? And that path is Guru, Sadhu and Shastra has given those instructions. So Vaishnava never lives by mental concoction. He never designs his lifestyle according to mental concoction. What does he do from getting up till night? What he does? He makes sure that he is a follower, he is in the spirit of a servant, executing devotional service. Contrasting that, you see a karmi, he has no shelter. He gets up, he speculates what I should do. He creates his own plans for achieving something in life. Where that will lead, whether it's good or bad for him, he doesn't know. So practically every conditioned living entity is rudderless. Unless he is a person who is a strict follower of the scriptures, Vedas, which modern days, nobody is doing that. Nobody has got that training. Nobody has got that education. Fortunately, only we have that situation where we can say that, okay, whole day my life is according to what Krishna wants. And these instructions are plenty. If somebody takes my life goal is to follow Prabhupada's instructions, one cannot say, okay, I don't have, in my devotional life, I don't have something to look forward. In Karmi's life, there is so much to look forward, achieve this, achieve that. But actually here, there's so much of the degree, the purity, the quality of service, the quality of chanting, the quality of all those things Prabhupada goes on explain. These are all minute instructions of Prabhupada. If you're chanting today 16 rounds, the way Prabhupada said, to increase the quality of chanting is a lifelong instruction. You can go on aspiring how to increase, how to chant with greater quality. How to do service with greater purity is something that the devotees can constantly improve. Because if you take the instructions of Prabhupada, Prabhupada has instructed that one should gradually move towards pure devotional service. This is in the mind of the spiritual master. Every disciple should progress towards pure devotional service. Pure devotional service means unmotivated, uninterrupted, nothing for me, only for Krishna. In that spirit, one executes devotional service. That is purity of devotional service. So if one feels confident or if one feels that he has got this treasure, he has found this treasure. What is this treasure? The instructions that has come down in Guru Parampara from the Acharya. It's a treasure for humanity. Because anybody who takes shelter of that, he is saved. He is sucked into the spiritual world. At different times, different situations prevail in this material world. Kali Yuga situation is different, different yugas, different situations. Now you see completely different situation. No human being is following the Vedic path. No human being is following a progressive spiritual evolutionary life. Nobody is following. Nobody even knows that you are born as a human being for spiritually evolving and purifying yourself and becoming liberated from material energy, birth, death, old age, disease. Even that people do not know the purpose of life. So different situations are there, and in the midst of all this situation, the Acharya comes down from time to time and they give this umbrella of instructions. Today, whatever Prabhupada said that we should do, we are all very happily performing. It's not very great tapasya to do whatever Prabhupada has told us to do. Some people think that, oh, sadhu ban gaya, so sad. You know, he has renounced everything. Here you are coming, you are sitting and enjoying. Morning till night you are enjoying. What is the difficulty? No difficulty at all, isn't it? If at all one or two small difficulties are there, oh, very difficult, you think. Few things Prabhupada has asked us to do. That also, if you just follow everything, rest of the things, you will get strength for that. One gives strength to the other. Chanting gives strength to service. Service gives strength to chanting. Chanting gives strength to come for Mangalarti. Mangalarti gives strength for chanting better. Like that, one feeds the other. Prasada-seva gives strength for doing service. And more service you do, come back, and then you, with more purified consciousness, you can honor prasadam. So each one of these activities are all feeding into each other. So this paradigm should be there. Why are you in this Krishna consciousness movement? What is the benefit? Not that I am in a building. I am in a temple, which is a building. No, in our perception, where am I? I am under the umbrella of Prabhupada's instructions. There, if I stand under that umbrella, I will not get wet by Maya. I will be protected. So to have respect towards the instructions of Prabhupada, develop respect. Before you follow, you should respect without duplicity. Yes, I want to follow. Sincerity and duplicity. Sincerity means opposite of duplicity. Sincerely, there are no two motives for me. I sincerely want to do this. There are no two motives. I'm not saying one thing, another thing in my mind. I have only one sincere motive. That is, I want to execute the instruction of Prabhupada. Sometimes we tend to think instruction means do this, build temple, distribute books. No. That is one class of instruction. More fundamental class of instruction is what you should do every moment in your life. Your achar. What you should not do. All those things are given to us by Prabhupada. So if one carries out the order of the spiritual master by disciplic succession or the parampara system, he overcomes the 4 defects. So you won't be taking the wrong path. because of the four defects, if we are self-directed, then we will take a wrong path. Our path will not be the path of spiritual progress. Our path will be going this way, that way. Suppose you are supposed to go this way. You go this way and that way, then you are wasting your time in different directions. You have to come back this point and again go. Brahma knew well that Kardama Muni exactly carried out the instruction received from him, that he actually honored his spiritual master. This is another aspect. By following the instructions of the spiritual master, or following the instructions of anyone, you honor that person. Guru Puja does not mean you offer Guru Puja to his Murti, to his Vapu. You have to offer Guru Puja to his Vani. Guru Puja to his Vani is what? This is what it is. Since you have completely accepted my instruction without duplicity, showing them proper respect, you have worshipped me properly. Worshipping Guru means worshipping his Vani. That means worshipping his Vani means taking his Vani with great respect. And whatever instruction you took from me, you have carried out, and therefore you have honored me. So that is how we please the spiritual master, by carrying out the instructions of the spiritual master. So this is a fundamental principle. Life is made very, very simple. We don't have to, we give our lives to the spiritual master, means we give our life to the instructions of the spiritual master. Finish that. No, all anxieties in life is finished with that. My tomorrow, my day after tomorrow, my future, all those things are gone. Because our life is given to carry out the instructions of the spiritual master. Total protection is there. Already such a disciple is liberated. One who ensures that morning to night I should be a follower of Prabhupada. I should be carrying out something as a servant. He is liberated already. He is liberated. By virtue of the power of those instructions, you are liberated. Any questions? जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.